Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age 100% guide. I'm just gonna pause so we can listen to these really important cutscenes coming from the Empire itself.
The Rosarian Empire assembles a vast host under guise of martial exercises. It is our belief they wait for the proper pretext, the sooner to make their strike against Arcadia.
The loss of Leviathan and her fleet at such a time comes as a most grievous blow. Were Rosaria to invade, the battle would be hard fought. Had Lord Vayne not deployed the fleet so capriciously, we would not now find ourselves in such perilous circumstance.
Lord Vayne shall be made to answer for his actions. It is the will of the Senate. Excellency, though he be your son, justice must be served.
A convenient thing, justice. And so I must now make a choice between my throne and my son.
A most lamentable situation for us all.
Oh? For Lord Vayne, perhaps. Yet surely Lord Lauser will make for a fine emperor.
Lauser so adores his brother, and he is yet young.
But he will not remain young forever. Already he busies himself unraveling Lord Vayne's tangled skein. Lord Larsa has found his role to play and pursues it with some enthusiasm.
Ah, yes. And who would set him at such tasks?
What matter? Lord Vayne himself once saw his elder brothers brought to like justice, did he not? At your Excellency's behest, as I recall.
You may put yourself at ease, Lord Gramis. So long as the Senate watches over her, Arcadia's well-being will ever be ensured.
By your will, I shall bid Vayne return to Arcades.
So, it was the Dawn Shard that brought down the Imperial fleet.
You know your stuff.
Destructive power of such force. I've seen it once before. Lady Ashe, you know of what I speak.
Nabudis.
The capital of Old Nebradia, Lord Rassler's fatherland. At the time of the invasion, a division of Imperials entered the city. There was a mighty explosion. Friend and foe died alike. Something was there. One of the Dynast King's relics. The Midlight Shard was in Nebradia.
More Nethicide. Well, no wonder they invaded.
That ridiculous war. The trap at the treaty signing. All this because Vayne wanted power. He must not be allowed to claim the Nethicite. The Empire must never hold it.
Oh, they already do. The Dusk Shard, most likely the Midlight Shard too. Besides, can't they manufacture Nethicite now?
Very well. Then the path set before us is clear. We'll use the Dawn Shard to fight them. Dalmasca does not forget kindness, nor ill deed done. With sword in hand, she aids her allies. Sword in hand, she lays to rest her foes. This Nethicite I hold must be my sword. I will avenge those who have died. And the Empire will know remorse.
You even know how to use it?
The Garif may know. The Garif people live by the old ways. Magicite lore is a part of their culture. They may hear it. The cry of the Nethicite's power. Whispers of the stone's menace.
Dangerous though it be, what we need now is power. Should we declare Dalmasca free without the means to defend our claim, the Empire would crush us. You must take me to meet with the Garif.
They live beyond Osman Plain.
Not exactly close.
Compensation, is that what you want?
Straight to the point, aren't we? I like that. Compensation. How about the ring?
This? Isn't there something else?
No one's forcing you. I'll give it back to you as soon as I find something more valuable.
What do you mean something more valuable?
Hard to say. I'll know when I find it. What is it you want, Vaughn? What are you looking for?
Me? What am I looking for? I guess... Well, you know...
The Garif are said to dwell in Kirwan.
So they do. We'll need to head south, past the Giza Plains.
It is the rains now in Giza. The wadis will be swollen with the deluge. Passage may be difficult.
But those same waters may also lay open new routes to us.
Regardless, we must go south, yes?
First things first. You're eager to be on your way, I know. But we should see that we're prepared before setting out.
I made my resolve 2 years ago. I swore to overcome any hardship I may face.
Man cannot live by resolve alone, Princess.
So, we are now on the quest to go meet the Garif. We're back in Rabanastre. We have the Dawn Shard. We are ready to rumble. But before we go anywhere, we have to check out the Rabanastre storefronts because we actually have been missing out on massive amounts of talents and stuff like that. Because we need to run and get some spells. Our black and white mage are now in the party, and they have had some upgrades, people. I mean, poor Pinello has been working off Cure, doing her very best to, you know, get the healing done. But we are actually able to get her Cura, which is going to be absolutely brilliant to equip her with that. As well as other elements like time magic and stuff like that. And as I say, yeah, super duper excited. Let's go get some new upgrades. But yeah, the story is really kicking into high gear. Like, Ash is very much giving Daenerys Targaryen energy. She is very much like, listen, I will take what is mine by fire and blood. I will destroy the Arcadian fleets. I will burn cities to the ground. I will, you know, do whatever needs to happen in order for us to make Rabanastre an independent nation, free of the Empire, free of control, etc., etc. So, as I say, it's a bit risky, it's a bit tricky. So let's just have a quick look and see what new weapons we can potentially get. As I say, an awful lot of our guys, like, look at this. Like, the sword is giving so much bonus attack. So we need to go into our loot and sell all of that. And that's where, to be honest, just running around farming low-level enemies just to get decent enough loot is quite the positive thing, you know? And no more than when we get really, really far into the game and our, you know, monographs actually start giving us rarer loot. It's gonna be pretty good. And what are we going to buy? Oh, that's actually funny. The healing rod, if Penelo attacks a character with the healing rod, they actually get applied with regen, which is quite funny. So you can actually have her attacking everybody, which will be quite gas. And as I say, we have things like the killer bow, we have like the wizard staff. Like, all of our characters just have the most basic of equipment. And right now, outfitting everyone all at once is going to be really, 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 really tricky. Like, we're going to need to start grinding, and what I'm more so going to do now, before the end of this episode, is we're going to go looking for hunts. Because I'm kind of sitting here going like, right, what exactly do we want to pick up? But we have to also keep in mind that some of the characters' weapons, you know, when saying like Balthier is getting massive, you know, attack boosts, you have to recall that guns completely ignore the defense stat. They do piercing. So, like, while his base damage is lower, he's actually going to be doing more damage because it's going to ignore the armor rating of enemies. And similarly, the killer bow, you know, and other armors with munitions, are, you know, guns and munitions and bows and their arrows. Like, there are combinations that do secret bonus damages and stuff, which we will look at eventually once we get there. But, as I say, for now anyway, we are just going to be looking and seeing, like, do we want to give Bosch the manufactured nethicite? This will allow him to be basically a mega super tank, and like, he doesn't use his MP for anything, so it is an option. Like, boosting it by 20 points is not at all a bad shout, you know? And this is where I keep saying it, guys, I kind of was a bit too trigger happy with buying all the abilities, because you need to be leveling your licenses evenly. Just because, like, you don't want to get new equipment and then it's like, oh, actually, I can't even equip that. It's not good. And as I say, for everybody else, what we're actually after unlocking in our completion of the Tomb of Wraithwall is that we get to actually get all our guys a secondary license board, a completely second set of upgrade abilities, of items, of weapons, of armor, of spells in some cases. And so now we get to basically fill out the complete Zodiac with our other characters. And what's really nice is that the Black Mage and the Bushi, which is like the katana wielder, katanas basically scale their damage off magic power and strength combined. So what we'll see is they get an awful lot of the magic quickening, because magic is like a big part of their kit as well. But they also get the katanas, and they get a bunch of battle lores. So Ash can basically be DPS magic and DPS attack and swiftness. So we are going to be making Ash into a Bushi Black Mage. And we're going to love that for her. She is giving and, you know, living full Targaryen realness. And you can just hop over the different boards with the press of Y. And we're going to be getting her some more swiftness to reduce her action time costs. And as you can see here, we have a bunch of other HP nodes as well. So once we start collecting those, she'll get even more tanky. For Penelo, we're going to give her the Time Battle Mage. This will give her access to debuffs for the enemies in terms of slow, as well as hasting enemies with our allies with positive buffs as well. She'll also get access to crossbows as a type of attack damage. Vaughn, we're going to have to wait and see, but basically, since we have 6 characters and they all can have 2 license boards, we're going to basically have all 12 signs of the Zodiac ready and waiting to go. So Bosch is basically going to become a monk. He is going to basically have all of the physical strength, and he's going to have the option to wield poles, which will basically give us another ranged attacker. And by ranged attacker, I mean capable of hitting flying enemies. Because at the moment, the only people that can attack flying enemies are Penelo, Fran, and Balthier. But now that Bosch has this, we are able to just give him unarmed, you know, strength and loads of battle lores and like high armor, etc. And if we are ever worried about outfitting him with too many, you know, if there's too many equipments to buy, we can just remove all of his equipment, have him fight barehanded, and with his monk specialism, he can actually do some serious damage, just like in our Dragon Quest series with Kakashi. Now, for Balthier, the Mechanist, we are going to be giving him the Ulan, which allows him to use spears. Again, just another option that if we're kind of, you know, finding his guns aren't doing the best they could, then we can just hop him over to spears and he can do proper damage. Fran has already been kind of a bit of a magically inclined character, so giving her the Red Mage where she can get some black magic spells into her kit and into her arsenal, as well as being the total support item user. You know, she now gets to have better ethers, have better magical capabilities, and better armor as well. So, as I say, our characters are now able to basically doubly expand their capabilities, which is just brilliant. And I suppose so long as we keep Ash with her accessory that gives her double license points, we will be able to see her skyrocket in just damage by getting all these passive bonuses of extra HP and stuff of that nature. But with all of that done, we're obviously going to then have Vaughn become a foe breaker as well. So that'll be all 12 Zodiac signs done and dusted. Now, where I want to go next is I want to basically run ourselves down to the Sand Sea, and I want us to collect... I want us to collect some more bounties. So we can go on some hunts and get ourselves some even better equipment in Gil. So at first I basically was like, oh, I'm gonna just run back and just quickly save, and then we're gonna hop back to the Sand Sea really quickly through that Moogle link. But I know, guys, I have to keep on apologizing for this series. I feel like we do a bit and then we stop, and then we do a bit and then we stop, and then we do a bit and we stop. But I promise, from now on, we are going to be getting consistent Final Fantasy XII goodness on our screens. So do not worry, we will be seeing Princess Australia back on the throne. No need to worry. But once we get into the Sand Sea, we can actually collect a couple more contracts. And I will hold my hands up and say that next episode, I do not get there the quickest that I could. So I'm just going to say it now, this episode. When we're looking for the Wyvern Lord, we are able to basically hop on a teleport stone, go straight to Wraithwall's tomb, and going back from there will let us get to the Wyvern Lord much quicker than the way that I go. But having said all of that, I cut that out next episode, and I kind of just wander through the 2 Sand Seas, collecting license points as I go, like, you know, and getting some levels. It's never a waste of time. But I did cut that out just because I wanted to keep it concise for you guys. Because obviously, you know, we've a fair bit to traipse across. But whenever you get to a place, you might as well just take stock, take the time, collect all the quests, and then once they're in your primer, you can check your primer, you can chat to the person to accept the quest. And right now we have the quest giver in the weapon shop, where we just were. So we will skedaddle back there now and start our Wyvern King quest. So, once again, I was like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? Are you the person that gives me the quest? And as I say, whenever you're getting stuck like that, it's a bit like in The Witcher. Just look for people that have a specific name. And like, this is kind of nice. The Moogle is basically like, listen, you just have to sell your loot. That's how you get money. You don't really get money in this game beyond killing enemies to sell loot. That'll get you bizarre items. That'll get you equipment at a discount. And then I'm just running around this room looking for somebody. But what it actually is it's an Imperial soldier. He's literally like, hey, I was out scouting and the Wyvern Lord is coming near Rabanastre and I'm pretty worried about it. But my boss said, you are a total, you know, worrywart. Don't be worrying about it. But I am worried about it. So I'm going to pay you with my own money to go to the Sand Sea and take out the Wyvern Lord. And yeah, so he's just looking out for the people. He's just like, please, listen. I'm just really nervous that this big beastie will come and like attack all the people. That is not the vibe. And then me, in my infinite recusant wisdom, was like, I'll just traipse across the Westersand. How long can it be? I can tell you that it was exactly 10 minutes of time of me just traipsing across the desert, fighting level 2 wolves. And it just wasn't very entertaining. And I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about through all of that time? And I'm like, golly gee, maybe I'll just cut it out. But next episode, we will commence our hunt. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been the RPG Recusant, and I hope you have a continued wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever it is you decided to sit down and watch this episode today. Please leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what you think of the secondary classes that we're after getting for all of our characters. And with all of that, all that's left to say is, hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.